So I played the last 2 games of the SerieA season yesterday. Shut off the PC, loaded up this morning, edited that video, and to be honest, I still don't know what the plans are going to be for the next season. Are we going to stay at Roma? Are we going to move on? We're just going to start up straight from the last point we were at the end of yesterday's episode, straight after the 2 games, and we'll continue on for a few days, few weeks, however long it takes to get to a decision. Well, hopefully in the next 15 minutes or so, we'll find out what that decision's going to be. Are we still going to be at Roma? Are we going to have moved on? Let's find out. Yes, hello, welcome on into Livestreams Sports here for another episode of Glory Hunter. Currently with Roma at the end of this 3rd season. We'll see if it stays with Roma over the course of the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. Who knows how long this episode is going to be. We'll find out if we are still going to be Roma manager moving into the next season. You can see from the screen in front of me, we finished 3rd in the league, 2 points off of the top. We managed to get to the Coppa Italia final, losing to Inter Milan in that one. And yeah, what could have been an amazing season, winning the 2 Italian competitions. They're checked off the list. Turned out not to be the case, as we threw it away right at the end of the year. And now we've got to decide, do we want to stay at Roma for another year, try and win some trophies in Italy, or do we leave after 3 years, having won nothing? You can see our end of season review is here, and if we look at the new arrivals, Kramaric is the highest rated. That's probably something to do with his 11 goals that he's had. He had a lot of games off the bench for us, a very good 3rd or 4th choice option up front behind Sesko and Abraham. Van de Beek played well when he came in on loan halfway through the year. Kaike did surprisingly well at centre back. I don't think he played that well, but he has had an average rating over 7, which is not expected. Johansson came in halfway through the year as well, did not too bad in his mainly substitute appearances. Declan Rice, £75 million, our big money signing in the summer, only a 7 average rating. I was expecting a little bit more than that. Victor Lindelof did well after coming in for a couple of £1 million. Surprise, to be honest. I think managed to push him way into the first team. Jakic is a backup midfielder, not too bad. Dalot and Salamakers, you can see we paid more for Salamakers, but Dalot really became the starter as we progressed through the season, and he had a slightly higher average rating. And Oscar came in on loan, mainly as a backup midfield option, but he did no bad news here. You can see from the league there, as I mentioned, 2 points off the top. If you look at the league table or the league games that we played on the right hand side there, the start of the season was a bit dodgy. We lost to Inter and Juventus and Napoli, drawn with Lazio and Sampdoria and Parma. We almost lost our job at the start of the season, but we turned it around. You can see all the wins toward the end of the year, losing to Napoli in February, and that was the last time we lost in the league, only dropping 4 points in the last 3 months, but it wasn't enough to win the league. You can see we only lost 5 games all year, 1 to Napoli there, 1 to Udinese there, another to Napoli, and then 1 to Juventus and Inter, so lost 2 games to Napoli. Just if we'd managed to win one of those games, we would have won the league. That's how close it was. In the Italian Cup, we obviously had that very, very tight semi-final 2-legged tie against Juventus. We managed to get through that after that injury time winner in the second leg from Kramaric, before that disappointing 2-0 loss to Inter Milan in the final, where we didn't have any highlights at all in the game. One of the shortest episodes I've ever created here on YouTube. The finances, we obviously had a lot more in terms of competition prize money because we were in the Champions League this year. Did lose some broadcast revenue though. And you can see our best-selling shirt names. Pellegrini, Abraham, Sesko, expected. Salamakers and Kramaric, not so much. Our best 11 is probably expected. The only surprise in it, possibly Kaike instead of Lindelof. Maybe. And if we look, Camavinga, Rice, Pellegrini midfield, Kaike and Romagnoli, Zagadou at the back, Christensen on the left, Dalot instead of Salamakers on the right, which It turns out it's probably fairly accurate, as Dallo played better than Salmakers. And no surprises with Abraham and Sesko up front, 28 and 24 goals between them. Pellegrini did set a new record for us for the most assists by a player in the season. And we also had some, if you look at the competition awards, SerieA Player of the Year has went to Tammy Abraham, and we've managed to get an under-17 best goalkeeper. Is that done in the under-17s competition? I have no idea. One of the goalkeepers in our squad anyway, not good enough to take over from Patricio, and we're losing Patricio this year, remember, so might need to upgrade there, even though he won the best young keeper in the country. So Tammy Abraham has set a new average rating record, 7.69 from his 32 games. That's a lot more than Lautaro Martinez, who previously set it with a 7.54, or 7.45 I should say. So Abraham has claimed the SerieA Player of the Year. Well done to him. And if we look at the Team of the Year, Skriniar from Inter Milan at centre-back, Abraham from ourselves up front, and the other 9 players all AC Milan players. Probably fair to say that AC Milan did pretty well this season. If we look around the other clubs that are looking for managers currently, there's no real interesting options. Sheffield United and Watford relegated, Troy relegated, Elche relegated. So the only options in top divisions are Leeds, who just beat the drop, and the same with Real Betis as well. There's no big options. There's no big teams. There's nothing that really catches my eye. I think we might be staying at Roma. If you look at job security of other teams as well, Torino is another option, but they only just avoided relegation in Serie A. Why would we go from a team who finished third to a team who finished in 16th? Nagelsmann there as well from Bayern. Only insecure though. Probably not going to lose his job, is he? And Nice as well, the same, 7th in Ligue 1. And it looks like we're going to be sticking with Roma, to be honest. There's not really somewhere to go. We might have to sign a new contract if they offer us one. Remember, we have already turned down a contract, so maybe they're not going to offer us one. But if they do offer us one before, the end of June, which is when our contract expires, then we'll accept it. We'll try and get as short a contract as possible. And then we'll move on season 4 here at Roma and see if we can get some titles in our 4th year as a manager. But interestingly, in terms of job security, etc., managerial merry-go-round, the Euros and the Copa America is this summer, here in 2024. So if there's some countries that perform poorly at those competitions, jobs will become available. Do managers move from big clubs to go to the national teams? Could we then get a job at that club? Maybe we get a job at a national team and try to go for the Euros or for the World Cup. Remember, we need to win both of those competitions in this glory hunter as well. And we've already lost 3 years, so we don't really have that many international competitions left to try to win it. There's a lot that could happen during the course of this summer, but I think if we get the offer, we will accept a contract extension. Just looking at the squad, I've removed the players who are currently in on loan and they will be returning to their parent clubs. I've removed Rui Patricio, who will be leaving because he's retiring. And this is the team, or the squad I should say, that we have left. So our goalkeepers are Fusato and Carretto. Neither of those are good enough to be a keeper for us here at the top end of Serie A, so we'll probably have to bring in a goalkeeper during the summer. Our centre-backs from Magnoli, Zagadou, Lindelof, Kaiki with Rice as cover. More than good enough, I would say. That's a solid group of 5. Maybe we could upgrade if we wanted, but then we could get rid of one of those. On the right-hand side, we've got Salamakers and we've got Dallo. 2 good options there. Christensen and Calafiori on the left. That's good for us as well. Midfield has Rice, Taliso, Jakic, Johansson, Pellegrini. Not the strongest, obviously. Pellegrini and Rice, very good. Losing Camavinga after he returns from his loan, which finishes this summer. That's somebody we're going to have to replace. A central midfield player, certainly. And up front, Sesko, Abraham, Thielman, Kramaric, Cancellieri. There's enough depth there, I would say. We probably don't need another striker. We might bring one in anyway, but certainly central midfield and goalkeeper are priorities. And if we look at the finances, we've got about £40 million in the transfer budget, which is not a lot of money when you're trying to, compete up at the top of these big European leagues. But our wage budget is £2.6 million. we're only committed to spending just over 2 next season, which means there's a lot of wage budget available. Maybe bring in some loans, maybe move some of that wage budget to transfer budget. But certainly, we'll be able to make some signings. We definitely need a goalkeeper, and I would say we definitely need a central midfielder. And maybe if we can improve elsewhere, that'd be even better. This is all dependent, of course, on us getting a contract and staying here at Roma, though. We do have an end of season team meeting, which is feeling strange because we're not quite sure if we're going to be here or not, but we intend to be here. They're setting us up to fail. Okay, they didn't seem to think that us winning the league was good. Maybe we should look to qualify for the Champions League. They're happy with that, right? Okay. Let's try to get to the knockout round of the Champions League. They're happy with that. I never like team meetings. I think they always just set you up to fail, especially, as I say, when you're not sure if you're even going to be leading this team very shortly. But here we go. This is what we've been looking for. A contract has been offered to us, and they're offering us a 4-year deal. Let's see if we can make it a 3-year deal. Nope, they say 4. Let's try 3 again. Nope, they say 4. I think we're probably going to have to sign a 4-year deal. They would like us to win SerieA in the next couple of years, as would I, quite obviously. And if we do manage to win the competitions, if we win SerieA, if we win the Italian Cup, the Coppa Italian, we don't think our squad's good enough to win the Champions League, boom, we can just resign and we can go join another side. Because a long-term contract like this, lots of clubs who maybe would like us as manager won't be willing to pay the buyout clause in the contract. So if we do sign this contract, which we are, it's locking us in for at least another season. I don't imagine anyone will try to sign us to manage their club, but we've just signed a new deal here. But that's fine by me as we finalise the deal and we extend our contract here with Roma to move on for a 4th season in charge of the Rome club. This is very exciting indeed, very interesting. Can we get trophies season 4? It's vitally important we do. If you think about it, 20 years split across 5 nations, realistically 4 years is the maximum you want to spend in one. And that's what we're going to have done here if we stay here for another year. So we want to win all the Italian competitions by the end of those 4 years. And if you want to stick around and see if we can do it, then please do. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. You don't want to miss the next one, because the next one is going to be a kind of roundup of our summer transfer window business. Remember, we definitely need a goalkeeper. We definitely need a central midfielder. There might be even more ins and outs that happen. We'll need to see what happens. There's lots of interest in lots of our players at the club. Abraham, Sesko, Pellegrini, Dallo, Salamakers, Christensen, Romagnoli, Kaiki, everyone it feels like is being wanted by someone else. There might be some turnover, who knows? But let's try to build a squad capable of winning SerieA. We only needed 2 more points this year to have a chance to do it. Another win somewhere would have won us the league. And we've only, in theory, lost 2 players from our best 11. Camavinga going back away after being in on loan, and also Rui Patricio retiring. So if we can replace those 2 players with 2 players of equal quality or maybe even better, it's going to be hard to be better than Camavinga, to be honest. But if we can, you know, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. So if you have enjoyed this one, I say please do leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until the next one, which will be a transfer window special, see you then.